which is why most people end up tired with confusing emotions and randomly crashing throughout their day. They wake up exhausted, almost like their sleep, it actually made them more tired. And as they push throughout their day, or as their day goes on, they randomly crash around like 2 or 3 p.m., almost like they ran into a brick wall. Or they constantly are battling through mental fog, where it's harder for them to remember things, or to crack jokes, or even process information. Almost like their brain, it isn't firing on all cylinders. And once they get to this place where their body and brain, it's only functioning at like half its max capacity, it actually affects their entire life. Instead of being in a fun-loving attitude, where they joke around with their friends, coworkers, and family, they end up kind of sad in like a dampened mood because they're always wrapped up in their own problems. Or they get to a point where they just don't feel like themselves. And when they get to this point, it negatively impacts their social life, their energy, their mood, and overall happiness. In fact, in the New Era of Health, we actually call the people that get trapped in this situation, trapped in this vicious cycle, we call them the trapped string beans. And if any of this story resonates with you, or you have the same reoccurring problems as these trapped string beans, then this might be an indicator that you're a trapped string bean as well. But the good news is the solution to your problem is simple. In fact, it may be easier than you think. What you need to do is realize that every time you eat, you drink, or move your body, you're actually sending your cells instructions. Now those instructions affect how your genes are expressed. Now that in turn affects your energy levels, your mental alertness, your memory, and your brain function. Now look, I know what you're thinking. Change how your genes are expressed? I thought you were just born with genes and you're either lucky or you aren't. And in a sense, that's true. You are born with genes, and those genes can actually cap your potential in certain areas, but it's how you express those genes that ultimately determines how you feel, you look, and you think. For example, let's say your genes have naturally made you thin. Well, you can do workouts and eat foods that will enable you to pack on mass. If you're naturally a little overweight or you put on weight easier than other people, you can do workouts and eat specific foods to tear through your fat like Wolverine. And if you're constantly finding yourself tired, with mental fog, and in a dampened mood, there are foods and exercises that will rewire your body and brain into a powerhouse, where you think as clearly as the guy in Limitless. You attain the energy of a kid and become happier than the Cookie Monster in a cookie factory. Now, I also know there's gonna be some of you that are gonna be skeptical about this, but it's really not that crazy. I want you to think back to the last time you ate ice cream. Well, how did your body feel after 20 minutes? You probably had an upset stomach, you had some mental fog. Well, just like how that food affected how you felt on the short term, it's actually doing the same thing, but on the longer term, when you continually eat foods that send your body bad instructions. You begin to have mental fog, low energy, and randomly crash throughout your day on a regular basis. All of which negatively impacts your mood and what you can accomplish. Now, we've compiled all of this knowledge on evolution, biology, and psychology, so that every day you wake up, you have more energy, more mental clarity, and are happier than the day before. Not to mention, you'll pack on powerful muscle and shred your fat at the same exact time. Now, when you do this, you're gonna get a lean, a powerful, and attractive body like Zac Efron's. And it's only when you get to this alpha state that you will know that you have become a conqueror. But the reality is, these are just the tip of the iceberg of benefits that you will receive when you apply the New Era of Health 3-step system to your life. In fact, let me tell you about one of our students, Jeff. He used to go throughout his day tired with mental fog, and really, he wouldn't process information quickly. Overall, his body and mind felt sluggish, which dampened his mood and social life. But he started to work out and eat like a conqueror, and his mental fog, it vanished. He attained consistent, clean, and potent energy. He lost 10 to 15 pounds in the first month of working out and eating like a conqueror. Now granted, a lot of that is going to be water weight, but there's also going to be a lot of fat there. And in general, you're losing weight. For people that are overweight, that's going to be healthier. And since then, he's gained more friends. He's been more happy, and his brain and body simply feel better than ever. Oh, and on top of it, Jeff, he's now in a committed relationship with his crush, or who he used to have a crush on. The moral of the story is that if you want to be like Jeff and attain godlike energy, to think as clearly as the guy in Limitless, to melt fat effortlessly, and to feel better than you ever have, then you must work out and eat like a conqueror. But the reality is that working out and eating like a conqueror, they're just 2 out of the 3 steps to rewire your body and brain into a powerhouse. The first step is actually what we call acquiring the mind of a conqueror. And basically, this is where you gain the confidence of a celebrity, become utterly filled with happiness, and boost your productivity by 300% so that you feel more comfortable in your own skin and are happy with where your life is going. So look, if you're an ambitious man who knows you're destined for greatness and is ready to prove it, then click the link around this video to gain instant access to the New Era of Health 3-step system.